A houseboat is not entirely unique in New England, unless, of course, it's on land. This historical home in East Sandwich is part ship, part house. The home was built in 1898 by renowned dance instructor John Foster, says owner Don Allen.
He took this one single-room small house and he started to add on to it year after year. And if you look at pictures, through time, you can see the house morphing in shape and size as he adds things and takes them off. The ship, he built that in 1917 for his second wife. He promised her a cruise, and he built her a ship. So there you go.
Masthead has a total of 5 buildings and sits on 16 acres of land.
We're up on a hill. We're the second highest point in Sandwich. The name of the house is Masthead. The ship used to have a mast on it with a crow's nest in it. The land is rectangular shaped and basically extensively planted. There's a lot of plants here. There's an original tree that John Foster planted 150 years ago.
The interior is as unique as the exterior. There are 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 4,900 square feet of living space.
Every room has a theme. There's a blue room, which is called the Dutch room. It's all blue and Dutch tiles. There's a panel room, which is called also the Neptune room. It has a large fireplace of white stones collected from Spring Hill Beach, and there's a bust of Neptune over the fireplace. The arms coming out of the fireplace are casts of John Foster's arms. There's a front living room, which is just basically a long formal room. It's just different. Every room is different. It's like, what was his mood that year?
The house isn't on the water, but the Widow's Walk does provide a spectacular ocean view. The house is currently on the market for $3.5 million. It's a bittersweet time for Allen, who moved here with his family at the age of 11.
It was a good adventure, a lot of exploring. What was interesting is everyone knew about the house. So I would talk to people in town, and they would say, oh, what about this room or that room? Family members from families that had lived here before us would show up to visit. Until today, it's been an interesting adventure.
Dharma Cortez and Rudy Vega's real estate adventure led them to something heavenly in Lynn.
It was so breathtaking, I was like, oh my God, and properly so, because this is a church. I immediately fell in love with the place. I thought that then this was the perfect home.
7 years living in this converted Episcopal church, and the couple are still enchanted.
This was a place built in 1885. We quickly learned what churches were built for, which were to leave the world outside, and that's exactly what you experience in this house. It's very serene.
While the stained glass was replaced by windows, much of the original detail remains.
I love my kitchen, which sits at the altar, so I always tell people that I always cook a holy meal. I think that this house, actually, the kitchen is the centerpiece and is where everybody gravitates.
The bedroom is an airy upstairs loft, and the old Sunday school house is what the couple calls their multi-purpose room. Separating the 2 large rooms is a small but coveted courtyard.
We read the Sunday paper there. Frida gets to spend time outside. Sometimes we barbecue, so it's really nice because, being a church is in a central location with not a lot of grounds around, but still you have that quiet little courtyard.
Cortez and Vega found this unusual house through Boston real estate broker Paul Campano, who specializes in unique properties. Whether it's a converted church or old firehouse, these properties are for people who truly want something that's one of a kind.
In many cases, a lot of these homes are so unique, I think the average person would say, geez, I could never see myself living in a church or sliding down a fire pole in a firehouse. And that's fine. But there's always this subculture of folks who really appreciate something that's truly unique and want to live in something that is so cool.